Well. What's up, guys? I wanted to do a quick stream. I wasn't even going to do a stream, but I wanted to catch this real quick because I just watched the live event for the Walt thing, where Walt interviewed Andy Rubin or whatever. And boy, oh boy, I tell you, what a joke. What a freaking joke. I've been talking about it in the smartphone conversations group, and let me tell you, I didn't learn anything about the new phone that we're getting ready to purchase. And I say we because some of you guys are probably purchasing this device like I am, or you reserved it already. I got a few things from that, and you know that's about where it was at. I'm talking to the guys right now in the smartphone conversations group, and I'm telling you, I didn't learn anything from this what I guess I want to call it an interview. You know, let me update this. I learned nothing. That's what it should say. I didn't learn pretty much nothing from Walt and his horrible interview skills. I mean, did you guys see the what just happened with Andy Rubin with the phone? It's like, what just happened? I'm getting my stuff set up here because I wasn't planning on doing a live stream, but I had to, man. I just, and some of you guys, if you don't know what's going on, there's a new phone coming called the Essential phone. You can reserve it right now. It's a new smartphone, stock Android. It's going to be pretty good. I'm not going to front and say it's not going to be good. It's going to be actually probably really good. So let me share this out real quick, and then I'm gonna open up the live chat because I want to see what some of you guys are saying. You know, about this and how you feel about what just happened. If you saw the event, I want to know what you guys thought about that. If you saw this event, man, I was at the gym. I had to get my workout in. I'm racing home to come home and watch this. And I saw that. I was like, wow, I wasted my time, you know? But I might take some phone calls just to get your response too on what just happened. Like I almost want to ask what just happened. You know what I mean? I wasn't planning on doing a live stream, but this right here, I definitely need to kick up a live stream real quick because if you feel like I feel, let me get my live chat open. I'm getting set up here. If you feel like I feel, oh my gosh, it was like, what just happened? You know what I mean? Hey, what's going on, y'all? All right, I see the live chat pumping up. LaShawn already on it, man. He said Walt was being savage. Walt was being savage, man. He was crazy up in there. He was showing out, man. He was showing his tail in there. I was like, what just happened? Like, what? We didn't learn too much about the phone at all. It's like, shout out to Cafe and LaShawn and all those guys in Night Tech. We were all just kind of talking in the smartphone conversations group. And it's just, man, I was talking to people on Twitter, you know, it's just kind of weird that interview just took place like that. And I think that Walt was the worst candidate to agree to do this interview with because we didn't really learn anything. Shout out to Night Tech in the smartphone group. He said that the people in the audience asked better questions than Walt. And I don't know, it just seems like that was just a mess right there that just happened. But anyway, the phone itself, man, I did a podcast earlier. I could show you what the phone looks like. I think Night Tech posted a picture of it in chat earlier, but the phone is nice, man. It's going to be a new stock Android phone from Andy Rubin. We all know who Andy Rubin is. It's no secret. Here's the phone right here. This is just the color of it in white. It's basically all screen. It's got a camera in the center. There's some good things. It's got a Snapdragon 835, 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs onboard storage. There's a lot of things going good for this phone. It's got a ceramic back and a titanium body. This is the first phone with a titanium body. Period. There's no other. Now, this isn't the first ceramic phone, but you know, because you got the Mi Mix, they brung that, and there's other phones, the Xiaomi Mi 6, there's a ceramic version. There's a lot of different versions of the device. However, they should have honed in more on, you know, what just happened. I mean, in the smartphone group, conversations group, I was talking to Cafe and LaShawn and Night Tech and several other people that were chiming in. And I do agree that the few questions that came from the audience was worlds ahead and better and more informative than what Walt was doing, man. This was just it was a joke. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I still reserved mine early this morning. A lot of people reserved it early this morning, I'm sure. It's going to work on all 4 carriers. So this is a plus. So if you were wondering if that was going to happen, yes, it's going to work on all 4 carriers. And he also said that it's going to be releasing within the next 30 days or so. It's only $699 and it's $750 with the camera. It's a modular design phone, and it's not like the Moto design. It doesn't require, like for the camera he talked about, I did get a few things. He talked about the camera not needing to be powered by anything and hooked to Wi-Fi. It's powered by the source of the phone. The phone itself, I'm going to read off these specs here. Let me see here. Let me open up this chat here on this side. So I actually want to shout out Cafe, shout out to you guys up in here. Yeah, Grant said, okay. Yeah, it's definitely, now in the chat, I just noticed that Grant said it's cheaper than the Pixel. Yes, it is. And you're getting more storage options too. One important factor, one important feature about that phone that I like is that it's the 8 megapixel front camera in the front of the phone. Let me test the audio real quick. Okay, yeah. So the front camera of the phone shoots in 4K. So you got a lot of first with this phone. You got a first with a phone that has an all screen, but the camera's at the top. You've got dual speakers. I don't even remember them even talking about that. So you got dual speakers. You got a camera at the top in the center of the phone, which I think is going to be a plus. You have 2 13 megapixels on the back. You've got the front camera that shoots in 4K. It's an 8 megapixel. Both front and rear do 4K, 1080p, 60 frames per second. I mean, those are first. You got a first titanium phone. You've got a first titanium and ceramic phone together. You got a lot of first. And there's some things in there that we already know about. Like I've got a phone. Well, I got a couple of phones. Wait, no, 1, 2. Yeah, okay. So phones with 835 processors in them. We got that. But that phone has no SD card, but it does have 128 gigs on board. And I see people already complaining, saying, "Oh man, yeah, I wish it had an SD card because 128 gigs is not enough." Look, this my personal thoughts on people who say that 64 gigs is pushing it. But if you don't think 128 gigs is enough memory on a phone, I would actually prefer not to have an SD card, because if you just give me the storage I need, I want to max out at 256 or so. There's no way that I can fill. I have 300 gigs or something in this. I have a 256 card, and I have a 64 gigs on board and a 256 gig card. I got so much memory left on this phone, and I got all my music downloaded, a ton of stuff, games and everything. I still can't run out of memory. So people are complaining about the phone itself, and it's not even here yet. And then also picking apart things that it doesn't have, it's just weird to me. So I'm gonna do things a little different, man. I don't have my speaker, but I'm gonna take some phone calls, and I'm just gonna hold it up to the mic, man, and try to get y'all's take on how you guys felt about the event. If you saw the event, you can call in if you want to. You don't have to call in, but I'm gonna put the number in there so you guys can call in if you want to, and just tell me what you think about the phone. Tell me what you think about the phone. What was your experience? How do you think that? I personally think, before calls start coming in, I think that Andy should have done something other than recode this setup, this platform here that he did, so we can learn a lot more about the phone. Because the website went up with like no kind of announcement, and then all of a sudden they come out and say, okay, we're going live tonight. So I think that if he would have done just a presentation and showed us the website, showed us how to do it, you know what I mean? Just showed us these things, it would have been better than what we just saw right then. I'm glad I didn't leave the gym early, because I was going to leave the gym a little early. I was like, I'm going to leave a little early so I can totally get over here and watch this event. I'm a tech head, you know what I'm saying? I want to see the stuff as it happens. I didn't learn anything from this so-called event. I didn't learn anything. But I tell you what, man, the overall of what just happened is disappointing because it's almost like it puts a damper on the what's coming. And I feel like there's so much about this phone that we needed to know and hear it from Andy Rubin, and we just didn't get it in this one sitting. I know it's just the first time that it's being talked about. There's going to be more opportunities for Andy to get it to do it, but he just kind of was just kind of following suit. He wasn't really taking charge of that interview. And I just think that the product is coming out at $699 for the phone and $750 for the camera and the phone. It's a modular phone. There's a whole bunch of pluses to this phone that it's like Walt was working for Apple and taking shots at Samsung. That's just what he was taking shots at Samsung, saying, "Oh, people don't want Samsung phones just because they're going to blow up in their house." That's a lame thing to say. Like, why are you doing all these dumb jokes and stuff instead of focusing on what's at hand and talk about the phone? Cafe say the press will let us know. Talking about, and I just look at this interview and it's like, whoa, like why would you choose an interview setting? And they have their own reasoning for doing that. And I'll just say nothing is free. So this is what they chose to do. But it makes me wonder, like, what the heck what was going on here, man? Like, what just happened? Like, I know that several people probably watched this so-called interview or whatever it was supposed to come out to be and watched it like, what the heck just happened? Now, I just named off a lot of pluses to the phone, like titanium, ceramic, all in one, full all screen, you know what I mean? It's a full screen pretty much. It's got a new design for camera. It's the first phone that I know of that actually shoots 4K. Costa says, wait, Walt is an Apple user 100%. I didn't know that. I've been following Walt for a long time, but I didn't know he was like full-time Apple. And see, the price point, people are throwing prices out there saying, oh, it should have been this, it should have been this. How are you determining those things before the phone is even here? Like, I don't get that. Like, before we get our hands on it, how can people determine what a price should be on something? It doesn't have waterproofing. It doesn't have an SD card. But who, before we get in, I was talking to Cafe and Sean, some of these guys earlier this afternoon. We were talking about necessities, and it's definitely a generational gap because I don't want to get into that, but there's a whole bunch of things that I just don't require of a cell phone. And I do think it has, Cafe was making a point about that. Cafe Enterprise, he's in this stream right now. I think he was making a point of that. It's definitely a generational gap here. That's why they pushed this. And I don't disagree. I think a lot of things that they're showing is for show, is for the youngsters. Oh, I want to drink wine, and if my phone, I want to go swimming. I kind of agree with that. So, but if you're just looking at the technology side of it, what is this phone actually lacking? It's got all the internals of all of our current phones, and more in some situations. But this phone right here is $850 plus tax, or $825 because this is the unlocked one, so it's $824 plus tax. Came to $893. That phone is $699 plus tax, and I think that phone running stock Android, and it's got 128 gigs of memory. I got a phone call. All right, I'm going to check this out here. Let me put you on speaker real quick. What's going on? It's your man, Jay Will. You live. How you feel about the event? Who we talking to?
It's your boy, Night Tech.
Oh, what's up, Night Tech? It's Night Tech on, man.
What's good?
How you feel about this event, man?
Man, that wasn't an event. That was an interview going wrong, like 100%. I got nothing out of that interview that I didn't already know from the website.
True.
Like I said in the chat room, the people in the audience asked better questions than Walt. Walt was straight savage. He got nothing out of Andy at all that we couldn't have read on the website. Now, the phone itself, I think it's going to be a great phone.
Yep.
And for the people saying that it should be at $599, or what does it have over the OnePlus 3T for it to cost more than $300? We don't know that.
Exactly.
We don't know how much money they put into these phones. We don't know how much more it costs to make the phone frame titanium. We don't know how much they put into optics and all that other stuff.
Yep.
But you got to think about it. The Galaxy S8 Plus that I'm on right now costs $950.
Yep.
And the only thing that I can see on paper that it has over the Essential phone is the waterproofing, and it has a curved display.
SD card.
Does that make it worth an SD card? Does that make it worth
no.
what? $300 more?
Nah, man.
Or whatever.
And this is just, I respect what you're saying. I agree with you, but I know other people might disagree. But that's just how I feel the same way as you do. And those are just our personal experiences and our personal feelings about it. But I don't think, man, there's absolutely no way. Nah.
And like we've been saying for the longest in the chat room, a device is worth what you're willing to pay for.
True.
Doesn't matter what the price point is. If you're willing to go out and buy it, that's how much the phone is worth to you.
Yeah, you're right. Because I spent all that money on this phone, and I spent a lot of money on the G6. And the G6, I got that bad boy for $500. One was $500, and the other one was $650. But now the G6 is permanently. Let me ask you a question. Since I spoke of the G6, let me ask you a direct question. How do you feel about the G6 being at $500, and then it's actually at $599? That's the actual unlocked price, and then this phone coming in at $699. And then the U11, I forgot about that little beast. That one is what, $599 or $650? Regular price $599 with the promo.
600?
Yeah.
Well, with that code, it's like $600.
Yeah. How does this new phone factor in, and where does it stand against that kind of competition? Because the S8 and the iPhones are all overpriced. All of these phones are overpriced, but those are coming in at a lower price. So how does this phone? Where does it fit? Or what will make a person buy it over those phones?
Okay, so me speaking personally, the only real difference in price I can see is the Essential phone is what, $699?
Yeah.
$700? It's $50 more than the U Ultra, right?
Yep.
I feel like, to me, the titanium alone for that extra protection is worth that extra $50.
Yeah.
For the G6, that extra titanium. And to me, the full screen, you already know how I feel about the full screen, almost bezel-less display.
Yeah.
That right there is worth another extra $50 to me. So I'm like, cell phones now is coming down to the design, which you like, because most of these cell phones internals are basically the same.
Yeah. So in the chat, you can't see it because you're on the phone. I want to tell you what's going on in the chat because I want you to respond to this. Grant is talking about it not being in mass production. He's absolutely right. And Andy Rubin talked about it eventually getting there. So it's not going to be in mass production at the beginning, but how well, just on your experience of buying phones and what you see us techies going through, and you're looking at the market and all that, how do you think this phone is going to do? Because it's not going to reach consumers, like average consumers, anytime soon, because even though he said it's going onto a carrier, how do you think this is going to do amongst the tech world to start with?
Okay. This is reminding me a little bit of OnePlus. They're going to start off with a certain amount. They're going to make a certain amount, and they're going to get those out. But what they have, they're going to push all this to the techies. The techies are going to be the ones that are going to buy this. But the plus side is, unlike OnePlus, no pun intended, this device will be able to be used on all four carriers.
Yep. So that's an advantage, right?
That's an advantage right there. You'll be able to get on Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, all those smaller carriers. So they might not reach as many as, Samsung, but they're going to reach a lot of the techies that are on these carriers that usually don't get the unlocked devices.
Right. How can they penetrate right now, The people penetrating the average consumers are through carriers, and that's Apple and Samsung. And that's one question that Walt asked that I thought was pretty good about the duopoly. That's probably the only question he asked. It was actually something I was interested in what he was saying, but he's right. Samsung and Apple are the duopoly on carriers. How can this phone or all these, now LG is actually making the mark because let's be real, the G6, my G6, the G6 is on carriers and it's selling like crazy for like 300. You know what I mean? LG is moving this bad boy. They're giving away free Google Homes. I got 2 Google Homes down here, man, because I bought 2 G6s. How can, like, if you were going to see this phone on carriers, do you think they should keep it at the price of $699, or do you think they'll need to drop it a little bit to gain the interest of, because they're kind of it's a no brand phone at this point. You know what I mean? Like, average consumers don't know what it is. How do they penetrate the carriers and stop that duopoly?
They're not going to be able to penetrate the carriers for a while because, like you said, it's a new startup, so nobody is really gonna know who they are. And honestly, other than us techies, a lot of people don't even know who Andy Rubin is. So you can't even say, these younger people don't even know who he is. So you can't even be like, oh, this phone is made by Andy Rubin, because they're gonna be like, who's Andy Rubin? Oh, he's the guy who created Android.
You're right.
But still, at the end of the day, they're going to be like, okay, Android's on all devices mostly. So what makes this phone different? It's going to take them a few years before they even, make a move into carrier.
I agree. I would say at least a year and a half to get their feet wet and start to gain the trust of the tech world. Because you know what? What's your response to what I'm getting ready to say? I feel like the techies in the tech industry, like the industry of smartphones, the techie side of it, we almost control what the average consumer is going to buy. How do you feel about that? That's what I think, that without us pushing these products, or without the tech world making some kind of statement about it, they can put out commercials, but haven't you told 1 million people about the Mi Mix? And they're like, oh, I got to check that out. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're getting at. So basically, if we techie, because I'm sure that a lot of people, like you said, follow the techies. If we, push the essential phone like hard, then they might make more, coverage and everything faster. But you still got your Samsungs and your Apples that's always going to be at the top. The only way they would even, jump in there is if Samsung will happen or Apple happen to fail at something real, like serious, which is not going to happen. Guys had a phone blow up, and they still sold the S8 and S8 Plus like hotcakes. So
what about,
good luck on that one.
What about, because Apple isn't doing so great right now. For people that are actually following, Apple isn't doing that great. Tablet sales are way down, because that was their moneymaker. Remember that at one point, the iPads? That was one of the huge moneymakers. Contrary to what people think about the iPhone, the iPad, dude, I still rock an iPad right now. Those sales are so far gone. Look what they did with their latest iPad. Dude, they brought it out at what, $329? What happened to $700?
That was that cheap iPad.
Yeah. So, but remember when the iPad first launched, remember how much it cost? It was crazy expensive.
It was expensive.
Yeah. So Apple, and with the iPhones, who's buying the iPhones? Current iPhone users. Let me say this.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can give your opinion on this too, or anybody in the chat who wants to chime in. The iPhone users, I don't think they're coming from Android. Like, there's no Galaxy Note owners that are going to switch to an Android. What we do see online is, or Galaxy Note to switch to iPhone, what we do see online is iPhone users saying, well, I had to try the Galaxy S8. It's so going to Android. I've seen a lot of videos where Apple users are, look at this YouTube channel, All Thing Apple Pro or whatever. What are they reviewing right now? Android phones.
Yeah,
Android
I've
phones.
been seeing a couple of YouTubers switching over to the Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, and like most of the Apple people that use iPhones, the iPhone, Apple loyalists. So these are the people that had the iPhone 3GS, and these are the people that upgrade to the latest Apple device every year. So these people who have been, loyal to Apple from way back when are not switching to Android, just coming over. These are the people that are switching to Android from Apple are the people that, started at the iPhone 6 or 5S. You want a bigger screen and see the extra features that like Samsung's throwing out. And that's what's bringing them over. Plus, Apple not really doing too many design changes and stuff. So,
listen, and another thing is, do you see how Walt kind of took shots at Android? Like he was saying Android basically wasn't even relevant. And I was like, what is he talking about? Did you see that? Did you notice that? He was saying how you're just bringing out another Android device. I was like, what is Walt doing, man? Like, I didn't know he was that much pro Apple. Like, what the heck just happened?
And from what Andrew was saying, from what he, posted earlier or whatever about, Android being saturated and all that other stuff, I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He wasn't just talking about Android as the operating
right.
system. He was also talking about all these headsets and devices coming out.
Right. But see, you see what he did. You see what Walt did, right? He took that and ran with it. Yeah.
And in that way, you could see that Andy was starting to get pissed. He basically was saying, with this device, you won't have to upgrade every year if you don't want to.
And you know what, though?
And you already know.
Go ahead.
You already know he worked closely, probably hand in hand with Google to get the software where he wanted it, where he was able to get updated as soon as the other devices like the Pixel get updated. So
I feel like
I even went there with the whole Android thing.
That statement you just made about when you talked about him talking about not upgrading, I don't think he's talking to the average consumer. He's talking to techies. He's trying to win some techies over to have them stay with that phone.
Don't care about no upgrade.
No, man, the average consumer keep their phones for 2 to 5 years. When he said that, I said, you know what? He's trying to bring a phone that if you drop it, it won't shatter. Because it's got a titanium body and a ceramic back, dude. That it can't be scratched and it can't be broken. It's got Gorilla Glass 5 and that can be shattered, and it can be scratched, but at a higher level. I'm waiting for Jerry Riggs to bring that out whenever it drops, But I feel like he was talking to techies when he was saying, so you don't have to switch phones every couple of years, or you can wait 2 years. Yeah. It seems like he was just kind of planting the seed that, hey, look, y'all, if y'all patient, you wait, buy this phone for $699, get the camera for $749 with it, you won't be disappointed.
And that camera, when it comes out, when that phone actually releases, it's going to be $200.
That's going to be a lot more. That's 200. I mean, because some 360 cameras are already pretty expensive. They're expensive on their own. So earlier in the smartphone group, remember I was like, I'm gonna pass on the camera, but man, like Cafe was saying, you might as well get the camera. I guess I might as well. Because even though I'm not gonna use it, you know what also changed my mind about that camera? It's a modular design that doesn't require any power from outside the source. You just lock it it snaps onto your phone magnetically. And it all turns on. You can have 5 cameras on this phone going at one time, he said. You can have both of the 13 megapixels on the back going, the front 8 megapixel, and the two 12 megapixels on the. You can have 5 cameras going at one time on this phone. That kind of changed my mind. Yeah, I know that would be the craziest video ever. That kind of changed my mind about just going on and spending the $49 and getting the addition of the camera. So shout out to Cafe. You probably gonna go ahead and see that too, because. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Walt even tried to come at him about that. He's like, how is it wireless if it's a bus component? And he's like, it's USB 3.0.
Yep.
But it's still wireless. And he's like, how can it be wireless because there's no wire?
Right.
That's how it came out and said. He was too nice. I was like, do you see a wire from the camera to the phone?
Yeah.
No, it's pin. It's a pin connection.
Yeah, so Bluetooth 3.0. He says Bluetooth 3.0. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Bluetooth 3.0. So that's innovation in its own right there.
I see a lot of people asking, where's the earpiece? The earpiece is right on top.
Yeah, it's above the camera. Yeah.
Right on the edge. Right on the edge. Right on top of the camera.
Yeah, so if you guys want to see the phone, just go to essentials.com. That's the official website. So you can register and reserve yours right now, and you can see everything about the phone. I was kind of hoping with this interview, and I know it sounds like you were too, and several other people, like, wait a minute, what are we doing here? Like, we're not even focusing on the products. I didn't learn much about the home device. I didn't learn a lot about the phone. I learned more about that camera, actually. But it seems like it was just a mixed bag and a mess going on with that, man. It was just a mess that what just happened.
We didn't find out about the other two colors,
Nothing. Nothing. I didn't learn anything, man. I didn't learn anything from that. I don't know what just happened.
I would love to have that green and gold.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that. I would love to have that. It's called Ocean or something like that. The eclectic color, the different color would be real nice, you know? So, oh, Eric's live, man. Eric doing a live stream too. Shout out to Easy Computer Solutions, man. I didn't even know. I think he's live too. Yeah, he's live right now too. But because I'm sure his reaction is probably going to be like everybody else. It's like, what just happened? You know what I mean? Like, what happened in this interview? I'm going to have to watch his after I get done with this one. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I just feel like, shout out to Albert and all the regular guys up in here, man. Deborah, all y'all guys in here. Jimmy, Big Mo is in here. Miguel, all y'all, man. I'm telling you, they're not going to have to market this phone very hard to begin with, because they're not trying to reach the masses. I think, like Grant, I was saying earlier, Grant said that earlier, they're not trying to reach the masses right now. They're just trying to. Andy Rubin, what did he say he had? 300 million or something like that backing it?
Yeah, he said hundreds of millions.
Yeah, I mean, what the heck? He ain't worried about no money.
He said hundreds of millions.
Yeah, he's not worried about money. And he told him, he said, it's not about the money with me. He's saying that, and people will take that literally. Oh, you want to make some money? He's going to make money because they're selling the phone for $699. It didn't cost $699 to make. It might cost $200-$300 to make this phone. So they're going to profit either way. And he does want to make money. You know what I mean? But that's not the first thing he's thinking about. He is trying to change the industry. We also didn't learn anything about the new operating system. Did he even talk about that at all?
He tried to, but of course, Walt, he got into it a little bit, but Walt, jumped in there. He's basically saying the new operating system is on this home device is basically a bridge. So it's basically it can be a standalone device, home device, but it can also be a bridge to the rest of your devices, like your Echo, your Google Home, and whatever else. And that's what he was saying. He was like, so, and then Walt went on to say something, and he was like, well, that's what he said. He said, it's like your Google Home, your Echo, and wherever else you got are all they're all separate islands. And the new device, the home device, is like a bridge to the rest of the devices. He's basically said he's not telling you to get rid of your other device. Right. Because the new device can still communicate with the device that you have now. Right.
And what about that? Like, isn't that changing the industry right there? He's talking now. If you guys, for those that didn't watch the event, what we're doing right now is we're just having a reaction live video at the moment. Shout out to the replay crew and Grant S. I see Grant S. in the house, man, and Gary Brown. Miguel is here. To the people that don't know what's going on and you're watching this and you're on my channel like you normally follow me, a new phone is coming. I'm just going to quick recap. We got Night Tech on the phone right now live from Night Tech Reviews. A new phone is coming. And it's from Andy Rubin. Like he was saying earlier, some of the younger generation might not know who Andy Rubin is, but if you got an Android phone, you know who Andy Rubin is. So he started all that. He's the man for that. And now he's venturing off doing his own thing. And they just did an interview with Walt. Everybody knows Walt from Wall Street Journal. The thing was not very good, and there's a lot to be learned about this new device. And there's several different devices that are launching. It's a modular phone. It's got a camera. It's got a home device. These are things that he's launching. And just go to essential.com and check out the device yourself. And we're live right now with Night Tech on the phone and everybody in the chat. And shout out to Cafe. He said it before I could just say it again. The Essentials home is actually going to be pretty nice. You know, and let me read a comment from Grant right here. Grant S is in the house, y'all. He said a comment that I totally agree with, and it says this: the Essentials PR team needed to indicate certain topics and omit certain things. Basically, what he's saying is Walt didn't care because Walt's retiring, so he gave this old shabby interview, and you know it's disappointing, you know, with that interview, and that's why I titled this stream "The Essential Phone." I learned nothing, you know. So some people might see that title and say, "Whoa, what is Jay? I thought Jay liked this phone." Yeah, I do, but the one opportunity that we got to actually see it and talk about it, we didn't learn it. At least I didn't learn anything. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but I had to go to the website and recap and do my own research on Google and pay close attention to certain things that happened in that so-called interview because I thought it was a horrible thing. I thought it was just not a good look. And I think the Essentials PR team should come back and do it again and do a presentation. I mean, what do you think about that, Night Tech? I think they should do a presentation.
Well, they have something going on tomorrow.
Oh, they do?
On
I didn't know that.
On I think it's NBC or ABC something. He's going to be on there.
Okay.
So hopefully we get more information from there. I have to look back on the source. I forgot where I seen it at.
Okay.
He's going to be on there tomorrow.
So
at some time in point.
So you heard it first. Night Tech just gave that breaking news because I didn't know about that. So look for some more communication from Andy Rubin and the Essentials crew on this new phone. Now, the name of the phone, man, is called PH1, actually. That's the technical name of it, but it's just called the Essential phone.
Yeah. It's funny, though, when he said, what's the name of the phone? So he's like, so the name of the device is phone? He's like, yeah, it's phone.
Yeah. He was straight taking shots at him the whole interview.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on, man?
I'm like, yeah, the name of the phone is phone.
Do you see what happens, this trend when a new phone comes out, how people take a really pessimistic approach first instead of being optimistic and actually trying to absorb and learn something?
Yeah.
All the time. So let's take a second now. What does the phone have? Let's compare the S8 Plus and this new Essential phone real fast. The S8 Plus has waterproofing and an SD card. And what else does it have that one doesn't have? It has
honestly, the headphone jack. That's about.
Oh, that's right. But you get a dongle in the box. You get a dongle in the box with the headphone jack. Yeah. So that's not really nothing.
He's also said if they do it or a third party wanted to make a headphone jack accessory for the modular accessory, it could be done.
So I think Night Tech, correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody is saying that it has wireless charging. The S8 has it, and that phone does it. I think that phone has wireless charging, right? Didn't he say it was all wireless?
It's wireless charging through the 2-pin connection.
There you go. Yeah, I know he said it was, but the phone wirelessly charges though, right?
Yeah, if you sit it, it's a special dock that they have.
There you go.
You have to sit on the dock, and it connects to the pin.
There you go. Yeah, I knew he said it. Yeah, it has wireless charging.
The same thing, basically, except with the Samsung, you just sit it down on the thing, and you don't need a pin connection. But with say if you don't have the Samsung wireless charger, like I have this third-party Rave Power wireless thing. I have to sit it on there, and hopefully, I put it in the right spot, and it connects.
So basically, it's wireless charging, but it's 3.0 wireless charging, which means he's got it connected to the pin. So I can guarantee that if they do it that way, it's going to be. Now they have a charging port on the bottom. They do have a charging port. However, that technology that they're talking about, it's going to be magnetic. Like your smartphone, it's going to be magnetic. So so it's technically kind of not wireless. It's kind of not wireless, but it's a pin connection. So I guess it is kind of wireless and not wireless. Yeah.
So it's a little different. I guess you can call it modular wireless.
So in the chat, Administrator S6 says not yet. They said they're working on it. And I was trying to watch the stream, and they probably did say that I couldn't keep up because Walt was such a distraction,
Working on what?
The wireless charge, like the real wireless charging, like full wireless charging or whatever. Yeah. So that's what the person in the chat said. I didn't catch that, but I mean, maybe they caught it. I didn't.
I didn't get that.
I didn't hear that either, but maybe I missed it.
Because even on the website, it shows the wireless charger. It's the pin connection.
Yeah. Okay. So in the chat, also Ahmad also in the chat says the charging system is taking place through the USB 3.0 wireless. Okay. So the pins. So basically the pins. So it's wireless charging.
Yeah.
It's wireless charging. So it's going to be through the pins, and I'm totally with that. As long as it's magnetic, and it's going to be strong because they're using the ceramic is see-through basically when it comes to technology, so they can do it that way. So
yeah.
The front too. They have, and another awesome thing is the camera is under the glass. Remember that? Remember when he said that? The camera is under the glass. I don't think anybody else. It's like they didn't even pay attention to that. The camera is actually under the glass.
And like I was saying earlier, when we were talking to Grant in the chat room about the whole the screen wrapping around the camera, that whole section up there where the camera's at is going to be mainly for your notifications.
Right.
And then when you go into apps like YouTube, that part will be where the black pillar's at.
Right.
So it won't affect it anyway. I don't know how that's going to work out with the browser. Maybe
it'll cut off, bro. It'll probably cut off. It'll probably cut. They'll definitely incorporate. Yeah.
The part underneath the camera.
Yeah.
But to me, like he was saying, the camera's in the perfect spot.
Yes. It's in the center of the phone, right under the speaker. And some people were asking, like you said earlier, some people was asking, where's the speaker? I'm like, look closely, zoom in on the picture, you'll see a speaker. That's right, you'll see that speaker right on. And another thing is, that phone has stereo audio. And something that they didn't touch on? You know what they didn't touch on? They didn't touch on the phone having 4 microphones. It has 4 microphones. Count them, 4.
Jay,
huh?
They didn't talk about nothing.
Nope. That's why I said, you know what? I didn't learn anything from this, man. I mean, it's
we could have did a press event and did a better job.
You know what? I don't disagree, because I think we're more excited about it.
We could have read right off the website and done a better job.
And guys, for you guys that are listening, just make sure you go to essentials.com, because he said that they're going to be shipping within the next 30 days. So get your funds ready. Get ready to order. Somebody also said, I hope they have financing available. I don't know that they would do financing. Now, this is my personal thoughts on it. I don't think they're going to do financing because they're basically a startup. So they don't want to be tied to you like that. If you buy it or you don't. That's what I would do. Yeah. If I was launching it, I would just say, hey, you got to have your credit card or cash or something. You got to find a way to buy it. We don't want to be tied to banks and stuff like that at the beginning, So
because it took 1 plus 3 years to get financing through PayPal.
Wow, that's crazy. And PayPal is pretty lenient.
The 1 plus 3 is when they started doing the PayPal credit.
Yeah, Cafe. Shout out to Cafe. He said I got this SA Plus, so I don't know. I'm with you. The SA Plus is on deck, man. SA Plus is good.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm like, I got the SA Plus and I got the Mi Mix, so
you kind of got the best of both worlds. I mean, there's another phone that's coming out. You actually put it in the chat. I was already joined up to get it though. It's gonna be $99 on special. It's a phone that's not available in the U.S. It actually looks exactly like this new phone, except it only costs $99, and it doesn't have the same internals, but it looks exactly like this phone.
What is it? It's made by Elephone.
Yeah, it's an Elephone. It follows the design language of the Mi Mix though, and that's who they're trying to compete with. They're not trying to compete with this phone because they don't even know about this phone probably, but it's competing with the Mi Mix, and I'm totally gonna get that phone and put it on the channel for you guys, because this another thing that I thought was interesting that they kind of just skimmed over it. It's actually 19 by 10. That should have been something exciting to talk about. It's 19 by 10.
Yeah.
They just kind of brushed over it and kept going. I was like, wow, they're not even really. They're not really pushing to get. Walt wasn't pushing the right questions. I think if Walt should have just been a mediator and let the audience ask questions. And the fact that he cut the guy off from asking 2 questions, and then the questions were over like 2 questions later, there were no more questions. Didn't make any sense.
And the guy, at the end of the thing, it had me wondering what he was going to ask, because he's like, it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what he was gonna say. You know?
And then, yeah, man, they left out a lot of stuff. But like I said, there's an interview. Supposedly, I'll figure out what the source was on. I think it's NBC or ABC is gonna be doing an interview.
Yeah.
But the device, he said the next 30 days will probably be 30 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I wanted to know when the other two colors were going to be released.
Yep.
Like
nothing.
Because you got to think about it. Say if you buy the black or white one, then the green one comes out 20 days later.
Yep. That's gonna make some people mad. And also he debuted. He said there's two matte versions. There's a white matte and a black matte. Now that I didn't see on the website. So
because I think the white matte is actually the. Let me see. I'm actually on the website. I think the matte white is just the white one.
Okay, so then that one. But did you see how it looked on there? It looked on the website. It looks a little different. It doesn't look matte.
Yeah, I'm actually on here right now to see. Let me see. Because the black, what color is that? Okay, so you got the moon black, which is the shiny black.
Moon black.
You got the pure white.
But see, that pure white that's on the website looks different from that matte version that he was holding. It looks different.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if the actual pure white, because the pure white on the website looks like it could be shiny at an angle. So maybe they're going to come out with a fifth color. I don't really know.
I don't know.
But
he said there's a matte black one too. I'm like, that's not on the website.
Yeah, no, ours is the 4 colors.
Yeah, the matte one is the matte black is not on the website. And so, hopefully they don't do now. That's something.
It is.
Oh, it is? Where?
It's the stellar. If you look at the stellar gray.
Oh, is that what it is?
If you look at the stellar gray, it looks like a matte black.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
With the silver, or grayish titanium color.
Gotcha.
Frame.
Gotcha. Okay, I see. I would definitely want the ceramic one though, and because but the question is the matte ones aren't ceramic, are they? Are they ceramic too?
I don't know.
I don't think that they would be ceramic though, right?
The only way they could be ceramic is they put a matte finish on the top. But
yeah, well maybe that's what they did.
That would defeat the purpose, though.
Yeah. This phone is gonna do very well amongst the tech community because techies complain about every little thing before they even get it. And some techies complain about stuff before they get it and they pick it apart before they get their hands on it. And some techies appreciate what's going into the device. Like this price point of $699, I think that's a competitive price. And I think it's actually a better purchase than several phones out. Reason being, it's the first titanium phone with ceramic back and Gorilla Glass 5 on the front. Come on, man. Come on. Stereo speakers. There's so much going right with this phone. How could a person hate it before they even get it in their hand? Did you see all the posts on websites today? Oh, it's going to fail. It doesn't have this. It doesn't have that. The Galaxy S8 is better. What the heck? What are they talking about?
And the funny part is, if you don't just to let everybody know, if you don't pre-order, the phone is $898.
Woo! They got $200 off, and all the people.
But that would be not for the actual phone. The actual phone by itself is $700.
Oh, okay, okay.
With the camera, it's $898.
Oh, okay. Because see, the camera is actually regular price $200. Is that on the website?
Yeah, if you go to purchase to reserve, it says $898. Then it's crossed out and it says $749.
Oh wow. So I would suggest that if you just really, really, really want this phone, to go ahead and get it in. I mean, just go ahead and go for it. I mean,
and Andy Rubin, he said it. He was like, when the phone is not really aimed towards someone who's looking for a low price device.
Yeah, I mean, of course not.
They're aiming for the fence. They want that money.
He said that too. He said we're aiming for the fence. You know, he said we're aiming for the fence. We're going for it. And I think they priced this phone competitively. I mean, if you're in the live chat and you're watching this on the replay crew, tell me right now what you think this phone should be priced at, or if you think it's priced reasonably. I think it's priced reasonably just based on what it's offering alone, man. It's a big screen. Oh, you're right, dude. It says $898 if you don't reserve it. Oh man, I didn't see that. Wow, you're right. $898. That's what the total cost is if you don't do a reservation. So, wow.
$699 without the camera.
Yeah, that's pretty pricey. You know, that's pretty pricey. So
that's what I'm saying. That's a $200 camera right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if I'm not going to use it a lot, man, I might just have to get it just to get it. You know, I think it's competitively priced right. I think it's reasonably priced. I don't think it's a bad thing at all, man. I think that the fact that they're stepping out and they're trying to do something different, and they are doing something different. And this phone has actually been in production for what? 1 year, right? Over a year now, going over a year.
I think they said 2.
2 years they've been working on this phone. So you don't think they thought about all these things? The only thing that they couldn't have thought about back then was the processors and the GPUs, because they weren't out yet. Those didn't even exist 2 years ago. But they followed the market, they followed the trends, they followed the pricing. And right now, as far as pricing goes, that phone is competing with every new flagship that has come out, period. The G6,
and that's what I'm saying.
The U11, the S8, the iPhone, all of them.
So that price of $699 exclude the camera, right? For $699, this phone has basically, on paper, because we don't have it, on paper, it competes with the S8, the G6, the U11, the U11, and all the rest of these devices.
Yep.
I know everybody always brings up OnePlus, but OnePlus is in a totally different situation from Andy Rubin.
Yeah, they ain't got that kind of Andy Rubin bread, man.
Yeah, they ain't got that Andy Rubin money.
Not happening. Nope.
In the words of Perry, they don't have the 4 guys working in the basement.
Right. Oh man.
And you can tell. Because he's like, I'm not giving out my investors. He's like, only thing I can say is he got hundreds of millions of dollars invested in it. And
they're on it. He said they all in because they know they're going to get the money. They're going to get the money.
What's crazy was, though, when he said that they were aiming for billions of dollars.
They might as well. If you don't swing for the fence or aim higher, like, why would I settle for the lowest? Like, when I'm doing YouTube videos, I'm not gonna say, well, I hope I get 10 hits. I hope I get 40 hits. Man, I hope I get 40,000 hits. I hope I get 100,000 hits on that video. That's not what nobody would aim that low, you know? So I think that he, LaShawn say, hashtag 4 dudes in the basement. I hear you, man. I mean, I just think that they're gonna profit on this, and because what they're bringing out can easily be a daily driver. I mean, for me, just the dual speakers alone, I got a lot of dual speaker phones I'm gonna be putting it against. You know what I mean? So screen quality.
The software, the firmware alone is gonna be where it's at, because from before they even announced the phone, way back when they were doing the little teasers, and I forgot the dude's name from Google. The Google CEO is like, oh, this phone, he even said this phone is going to change the game. And that's when I knew that they were working closely with Google.
Yeah, man.
And then the phone has software stuff that we don't know about. And he even said it. He's like, do anything different? He's like, I can't tell you. I can't say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would this man come on national TV and give out
all the stuff
going to have
before
the device is even out or close to being released?
So somebody else, it might, also, it might not be finished with patents yet. You know, and they might be trying to get some things patents. We don't know. Yeah. We don't know. Man, I'm rolling up on an hour, man. I'm finna get out of here, man. Hey, I appreciate the love, Night Tech, man. I'll see you in the smartphone conversations group though. But
Yep.
yeah, dude, I catch you on the other side. I'm finna end this stream though, cause I still gotta run a couple more errands before the night is out. I gotta go to the post office and drop off a bunch of stuff. I'm doing giveaways and stuff like that. I gotta drop all these packages. That's how I roll. When I do a giveaway, I hit the post office and drop that stuff off immediately, cause my desk is full of stuff. You know what I mean? So you gonna make your return, man. Night Tech been on the vacation, y'all. So you gonna make your return to YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Coming up soon, right?
I'm gonna make my return. I'm gonna make my return with that Essentials phone.
That's what's up. You heard it here first on your man Jay Will's channel. He coming back. He coming back strong with the Essentials phone. So I'm gonna be waiting. I'm gonna be watching the unboxing and reviews and hands on. So man, I appreciate you calling in, bro. I'm getting ready to end this live stream too.
All right, man.
All right, big dog. I'll see you in the chat though.
All right, please.
All right. So I'm about to get out of here, man. I don't want to beat this horse up. Obviously, I'm a little disappointed. Most of us are disappointed of how that went. You know what I'm saying, with the interview from Walt or whatever you want to call that. But what do you guys think about the Essential phone? Reserve yours now while you have an opportunity to. Go to essential.com. Once this video, actually, I can put it in there right now. I can put it in there now. I'll put it in the live chat too, and it'll be down below. That's where you need to go to register, and you'll see it in the live chat. You'll see it. You'll see it in the actual video too once this is officially up on YouTube. But shout out to those 5 people that thumb down the video. I want to show you some love. I want to show you that I see you. I still got love for you. At least you came by for a second. I appreciate the love, y'all. I'm finna get out of here, y'all, man. I'm finna go watch what's the name stream. Because I got to run to the post office. I put the phone up on the mount. I got my S8 Plus, the official unlocked version today. This is it. I've posted 6 videos today on this phone. Just getting it out there. I'm giving away a ton of S8 cases. Not this kind, the S8 cases. So hit that video if you haven't done so. Remember to follow me on smartphoneconversations.com. You're already tuned in here. And if you're not subscribed to me, well, I appreciate you stopping by. You don't have to subscribe. But definitely follow me on smartphoneconversations.com because that's where it's going down. I post a lot of articles over there. Monday's smartphone news, Tuesday's podcast going down every week. I appreciate everybody in the live chat that always stops by when I can throw up a quick live stream, and all the supporters out there. It's all love, man. Shout out for that super chat. I didn't want to interrupt Night Tech when he was talking, but shout out to the homie in the chat for the super chat. I appreciate the love. It all goes back to the channel. That's real talk. Keep buying stuff to bring it for review. But I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to go watch another live stream, and then I'm also going to head to the post office. So smartphoneconversations.com. It's the man Jay Will. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. JL Williams, and all my social media is Mr. JL Williams. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Shout out to the Smartphone Conversation group on Telegram.